teach the basics of guitar. If you haven't played guitar, these are like the real basics of it. If you had played guitar, this is all going to be very simple for you. But here we go. Okay, I'm gonna put the. I guess we'll put this down here. All right, so you got your guitar gear. This is a Schecter Oman 6 Diamond Series, okay, in white. Okay, you have the body of the guitar. You got pickups. Okay, these are the things that pick up the sound. Okay, you got a tone dial so you can change the tone of the guitar, which is change the sound output of the guitar. You have a volume dial, and you have a pickup switch. So if the switch is all the way this way, you're playing with this pickup. If the switch is in the middle, you're playing with both. And if your switch is all the way to the right, you're playing with this pickup. Okay, this is called the bridge. Okay, strings come out of the body from the back through these holes, connect to the bridge, and go over the pickup, and then they go over what is called the neck of the guitar. Okay, this piece is actually detachable from the guitar. If you need to do work in the guitar, like change the pickup, you can actually detach the neck of the guitar. But this is called the neck. It's going to be made out of different woods, maple, oak, mahogany, whatever you got. I don't know what this is made out of. But on the neck, you have these metal bands, and these are called frets, okay? And the way you change the note of your guitar is you play the frets. So for example, if I were to play the 5th fret on the string here, you're going to be playing an A. If you go over to the 7th fret, you're going to be playing a B, okay, and so on and so forth. A C, C sharp, E, etc., or D, E, E, etc., etc. Okay, same for all these strings. Okay, I'm gonna take the pick out here. Throw that over there. So the neck, you have all these different notes you can play, okay? Now you have six strings. So you have an E, an A string, a D string, a G string, a B string, and another E string. So E, A, D, G, B, E. Okay? And you have all these different types of scales you can play on those strings. Okay? As we get more into the neck, you have this thing, and this thing is called the nut. And then you have your tuning pegs. Okay, you can change the tuning by tightening or loosening those tuning pegs. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of chord shapes real quick. I'm going to change the camera angle. I'll be right back. You got your guitar, okay? We're going to start with the D chord, and chords are simply 3 different notes that are
either taken out of the major scale or the minor scale. That's as much music theory as I know right now, but it's some sort of root note, and then there's a pattern, so it's like semitones up or notes within the minor scale. I think it's like root 3, 5, but I could be wrong on that. But anyway, the first chord to learn, and this is a great one for getting your calluses, is the D chord. Okay. And you do not strum the E string. That's not part of that chord. But in order to make the chord shape, you take your middle finger and you put it on the second fret, and you fret behind the metal rods. You take your ring finger, you put it on the third fret, and you take your index finger and you put it on the second fret of the G string or the third string up. So ring finger, second fret, low or high E string. That would be your middle finger, excuse me. Your ring finger, third fret, B string, which is the second string up. And then index finger, second fret, G string, which is the third string up. And it sounds like that. A little out of tune, but okay. So the D chord, really good chord. Another chord to learn at first is the G chord, and it looks like this. We're going to start with the middle finger again. Middle finger, low E string, third fret. Index finger, second fret, A string, which is the second string down. You're going to have two open strings, so the D string and the G string are going to be open. You're then going to have your ring finger, third fret, B string, and then your pinky finger, third fret, high E string. Okay, so G chord, D chord. Another chord to learn is the C chord. It looks cool. So with that one, you're also not going to strum the low E string. You're going to have an open high E string. Your index finger is going to go first fret, second string or B string. You're going to have an open G string here, which is out of tune. You're then going to have your middle finger. It's going to be second fret, D string, which is the fourth string up if you're counting upward. And then you're going to have the ring finger, third fret, A string. Okay, so you got your D, you got your G, and you got your C. Another good one to know would be an E minor chord. So you're gonna strum the E string because it's the E, and then you're gonna have your ring finger and your middle finger both on the third fret. Your ring finger is gonna be on the A string, second string down, and then your middle finger is gonna be on the D string, third string down. Okay. So D, G, C, E. You can also learn the E major, which is just the same E minor, but you have your index finger is going to be first fret on the G string. See that? Minor is sad, major is happy. Okay? You can learn your A major, which is going to have all of your index, middle, and ring fingers on the second fret, and they're going to go on the B string, third or second string if you're counting upward, the G string, third string if you're counting upward, and then the D string, fourth finger counting upward. Okay, you can make that into a minor, which is just the, interestingly enough, which is the E minor down. So you'd have your index finger first fret on the B string, your ring finger second fret on the G string, and then your middle finger second fret on the D string. Isn't that weird? You have your E major, but your A minor is the same shape as your E major, just down one set of strings. So those are your basic chords. You have bar chords, but I don't know if we should get into that right now. Those are fun. But another chord that's real easy to learn is your power chords. So you have this cool thing about power chords is they can go anywhere, and the shape doesn't change. So it's really useful in rock and metal where you have to change chords quicker. So a power chord is you're going to use your index finger and your ring finger. Your index finger is going to go for the G power chord on the root note, the G, which is the third fret of the low A E string, and then your ring finger is going to go on the fifth fret right here, and it's just that's something like Smells Like Teen Spirit. I forget how to play it. Something like that. But they can move anywhere, so that shape doesn't change. So the shape of just having those two fingers, one up and one down, and then just a fret over, 2 frets over if you think that way, can go anywhere. Really, really useful. But when you're getting through chords, the next step is going to be to work on your finger dexterity so that you can play licks and such. So you don't need to play chords. You can play like cool like licks and solos. So the first thing you're going to want to do is something called the spider walk. And this is the last thing we're going to get into. But you got your 4 fingers, and let's just start at the G here, the 3rd fret. You simply just, so index finger on fret 3, middle finger fret 4, ring finger fret 5, pinky fret 6, and then you just go down. Sounds terrible, but and then once you've gone down all the strings, you can go up backwards. So you lift off your pinky, and then you place it back onto the next string up on the 6th fret and do the same thing, just backward. Okay, and you could start on the 1st fret, go all the way down, and move over, go up. You can do that all across the neck to really get your finger strength and your dexterity going. And then other variations is you can just take 2 fingers, and if you're struggling, let's say, because you're going to struggle with your ring and pinky finger at first, you can just do those 2. And you just do that over and over. Like when I first started playing, I would do that over and over. You could take any set of those fingers, any set of those 2 fingers, so you can just go middle and ring. You can go index and middle. You can go index and ring, middle and pinky, anything that you can think of. all very helpful to get you started. Then you can start string skipping. So you start at the low E string, do that, go to the D string, then go back up a string to the A, then skip the D string, go to the G string, go back to the D string. A whole bunch of stuff that you can end up doing. But I think that's going to be it for my mini guitar lesson today. I hope that you enjoyed. If you do like guitar, please let me know, because guitar's awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.